Hey y'all, this is Seth from the Leptons, and this is Song of Week 2019, week number 11. Song of Week is a group started by my friend James Tristan Redding, where we get together every week and try to improve our songwriting skills by writing new material based on a theme. This week's theme is 1959, so I attempted to write a song inspired by Ray Charles and John Coltrane. Stick around after the song and I will detail the writing process. And here's the theme song. Thanks.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so when I saw that the theme was 1959, I dug in and did a little research to see what songs were released or recorded in 1959. And two of my favorite songs of all time, which are What I Say by Ray Charles and Giant Steps by John Coltrane, were recorded in 1959. Giant Steps was later released in early 1960. So what I tried to do this week was to make a catchy R&B progression in the style of What I Say, with the harmonic concepts that John Coltrane created with the song Giant Steps. The song What I Say has a riff that goes like this. It's a very popular riff. And I'm going to really quickly try to explain Giant Steps. It's sort of insane, but it's amazing. The concept of Giant Steps, it helps if you look at a circle of fifths. So the circle of fifths goes around every key signature. There's 12 and there's some enharmonic ones. So they go around by fifths. But if you look at keys that are a major third away from each other, you'll notice that it will make a triangle, and you can have a cycle. So, for example, mine starts on E, and if you kind of just follow major thirds down, you'll end up back at E. So I'm going to do a really simplified version of some of the Giant Steps progression. And when I say really simplified, it's extremely simplified. But if you take the if you take the chord that is a minor third away from your root chord, it will be the fifth, which is the dominant leading chord to the next key in the Giant Steps cycle. I think Giant Steps starts on a B, but like I said, it's super simple. So I'm going to start up here at E. So if you go E, the minor third of E is G, which is the dominant of C. If you do it again, you get to D sharp, which is the dominant of G sharp. One more time, you get to B, which gets you back to E. So that's an incredibly simplified version of how the key changes work on giant steps, and it's very fast. It's like that. Obviously, they're not doing parallel fifths like that, but that's like I said. I've always wanted to understand giant steps, so I just started to dig into it this week, and that's about as far as I got. It's very complicated. So with my riff, I did an R&B style riff, which goes. So that's just an E blues scale, but the first time the riff runs through, it ends on the B, which is the fifth scale degree of the E blues scale. But if the second time I end on the G, which happens to be the dominant of the C scale. So the scale repeats, or that riff repeats in E and in C and in G sharp until it gets to the turnaround figure that I did, which was something like that. So it runs through the three keys. I'm going to try to talk through the tracks, the guitar tracks really quick. There's the doubles that do the... There's two tracks doing that. Then there's another rhythm guitar track that just outlines the chords. I use seventh chords for every chord because that's sort of what you do in like a blues progression. You usually just do dominant seventh chords. So it's like... That's how that track is going. The bass track is a simplified version of the riff. Something like that. And the slide guitar like that. It just outlines the chords with some high gain type guitar. I tried to make it sound vintage though to fit with the theme. And then there is a MIDI piano track. That's not vintage, but I can't play piano very well. That is doubling all of the guitar riffs and a vintage style drum loop. So that's the whole track. Cool. Thank you for listening. Please like the Leptons on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll see you next week. Bye.